Hi there, how are you today? This is Katrina Sawa with jumpstartyourbiznow.com. I wanted to share a quick tip today about maximizing your Zoom room, your Zoom box, so to speak. Okay, so when you're on virtual calls or virtual networking events and you're trying to get clients or show up with their best impression, make a first impression, you need to pay attention to your Zoom room. Okay, how you look on the screen. The first thing I always recommend is you rename yourself. So you may not be seeing my name here because I'm on YouTube and social media right now, but when you're on a Zoom room, you know that your name shows up in the bottom right-hand corner of the box, right? Over here, I guess. And you can rename your name so that it doesn't just say Katrina with a lowercase k, like you might have established your profile under in Zoom, but I can put Katrina Sawa, capital letters, right? Comma, jumpstartyourbiznow.com if I want to put my URL there. I can also put my phone number there, or you can say call me or connect with me with phone number or an email. So renaming is one thing you can do, because then people that are on the call, whether you're speaking or not on the call, they can still see you. And if you're messaging in the chat room, then they can see that whole long string in there. And if they save the chat, it also goes with the chat. So very important to rename yourself in the Zoom room, okay? The second thing is, please make sure you look like you would be attending a live event. Please make sure you do your hair and makeup, you do whatever minimal stuff you might, do. I actually put a lot more blush on when I'm on video than I would if I was going out into public, because for some reason, a little bit of blush just doesn't show up. And you need to make sure you have color in your face. So if you're a guy, yes, you still need to look at some of this too. And jewelry. So with the woman especially, I will usually dress up my shirt with some bigger piece of jewelry. This I have on today is a really small set of hearts because I love hearts. However, I wasn't planning on doing this video, or I probably would have shown you some props here, but usually if you look at any of my other videos, I have a bigger necklace here and maybe some good earrings, right? And or sometimes I'll wear bracelets if I know I'm going to be live and maybe the speaker at the event, but usually I don't like to wear bracelets to work because it's hard with the mouse on the computer. But those are just some tips to make you look better, because you can dress up a t-shirt. This is kind of a longer t-shirt. I would wear this out, frankly, but yes, I do have sweats on underneath. But you could dress up and just wear a cute shirt on top. And guys, you guys can do this too with a button up or even a polo, or some t-shirts look okay too, but just be careful looking too casual. I see a lot of guys looking more casual than women sometimes. And women, you can also just throw a scarf around it, right? So another thing, so besides your appearance, if you aren't ready to go out of the house like this, if you aren't prepared, then you're probably not prepared for a Zoom networking event. You wouldn't show up to a live event in your sweats and tennis shoes, right? Unless you're a fitness trainer maybe, but you wouldn't show up in your sweats and tennis shoes. Now, in the Zoom room, anything below the waist is not really seen, so it's okay. But look, from the waist up, we really care. Now, what's really most important, though, to make a good first impression in business and to get clients or find referral sources or be an influencer or leader and really showcase that you know what the heck you're doing, please make sure you have some kind of marketing materials around you, okay? And don't put a virtual screen on. The virtual backgrounds are horrible, okay? I know there's some people out there that disagree with this, but watch the virtual screens. It makes your hair go all like this. Like you can come in and out of the picture. Sometimes you'll see my hand, sometimes you won't. And you definitely, if you're putting up a book to show people like, hey, buy my book, they're not going to be able to see the book with a virtual background. Sometimes with a green screen, you can see other things, but I still don't recommend it. It just looks so fake. And I just highly recommend you frame yourself with your marketing materials instead. I've chosen to put my books up. I have 11 books, right? And they're highlighted. And people always ask me about my books. I don't even have to say that I'm an author. It's obvious. So if I'm trying to sell books or publishing, which I am, I sell publishing services and I sell books. I help people write their books. This is a good background for me, right? I'm also a business coach, so I could have a floor banner here where, as long as the message was right here in the middle of the banner, even if it was a 6 or 7 foot banner, I'm sitting down. So I don't want the message that's important of the banner to be on the top or on the very bottom, because it won't be seen. What's important is that you design a banner for your Zoom room right now. We might be sitting here on Zoom for another year, you guys, and who knows, a lot of groups are actually staying online and or going back to in-person networking events. So there's still an opportunity to network a whole heck of a lot on Zoom and virtual platforms. So I would really look at designing something to flank you in your chair, wherever you're sitting. And for those of you who do it on a sofa or a bed, please never do a Zoom call from your bed. I don't care what kind of call it is. And really, unless you're in therapy and you're talking to your therapist, you should never be sitting in your bed on a Zoom call. You should always be in a professional setting. It could be your dining room table. It could be an office. It could be a cool, like, a chair with a table next to it. But be careful of putting windows behind you. You don't want windows behind you. You want light in front of you. So if you don't have good lighting, you need to buy some kind of lighting. I can't tell you how many Zoom calls I get on where I'd say at least a third of the people still are not well lit. And they've had a year now almost to get some lighting, right? Get some lighting on your face. Like, I have a 2 big old umbrella lights like photographers use, but I didn't use those in the beginning. I just use a clamp light on top of my computer, and I'll show you. It's a little clamp light. It clamps like this, and then it shines in my face, and I can have 2 different settings, so it's light or dark. And you can see, I'll show you, that's the lightest one. That's the darker one, and this is off, right? Doesn't it look better with it bright, right? So you want a clamp light or something. You can get those, the ring lights if you want. Just make sure you put them behind your computer or over there so they're shining on your face. And then you can also just use a regular lamp. If you look over here now, I have a light over here, and it's just a regular lamp that shines straight on my face. So I have a light up here as well. Sometimes my office is dark, so I have to really light up my face a lot. So I hope this is helpful, you guys. Remember to rename your name. Remember to message in the chat. That's a whole nother video on what you should be saying in the chat. And I have a program for that. If you look below this video, there's a link to my Jumpstart Your Networking training. It's only a couple $100, you guys, but it'll tell you everything you need to do to maximize yourself in the chat before, during, and after an event, so that you can get referrals, you can get speaking gigs, you can get clients from any of the events that you're doing. Frankly, I don't care what kind they are. Well, I do, because I'll tell you which ones to do and which ones not to waste your time on. So rename yourself. I want you to look for lighting. I want you to show up like you would at a live event. I want you to get some marketing materials behind you, something to explain what you do a little bit, showcase a testimonial, or at least a call to action or something next to you. Even if you don't have books, you can do something with a banner. I want you to look at just what you're wearing and how to make yourself look like the expert that I know you are. So there's your tip for today. Hopefully that's helpful, you guys. And come to some of my calls. I hold free calls for speakers and authors and business and entrepreneurs at my International Speaker Network. So I'll put that link below too, and I'll see you there. Have a great day, everyone.